Hi, this is Bill Doyle, and today I'm going to share with you one of my fresh marketing strategies to help you get free traffic, strategy, and leads. So it's really an audience building tactic to help you increase the traffic, but also get the leads and additional followers to help you, grow your blog, get more website traffic, and generally get super targeted with some fresh strategies. So before I get started, I'd like to give you or share with you some staggering statistics about Facebook. So why would you even bother? Well, with over 2 billion active monthly users, your target market is absolutely hanging out there in droves. And the fact is, according to some new Google indexes found by Quora, and this is a couple of years old now, there's over 620 million active groups inside Facebook. So I'm going to show you a tactic that I've used and that my clients have used that's worked ridiculously well in helping them get these fresh new leads. So before I jump into Facebook, I just want to share with you a quick acronym called FRESH. And what does it actually mean and what does it stand for? So it's really important whenever you're trying to get new traffic, attract new leads into your contact database, that you match a certain number of criteria that can really fast track the success of that new lead into helping progress them to become a paid client. And the first one is fresh leads. So obviously you've already got an existing contact database or you're trying to build one. We constantly need a stream of fresh, new targeted leads coming into our system and getting in front of the right people. The second one is respect and trust. If you can do this, to be able to find a group where someone introduces you somewhere that you can gain immediate respect and trust via that person in a Facebook group, and I'll show you how to go and do that. The third important thing, and the E stands for edified or positioned. Edified by somebody else is a lot more powerful than you telling everyone else how good you are, right? And the fourth one is share, and that's people that see value and want to share it so that you can grow an even bigger audience through viral sharing. And the fifth one, the H, stands for happy. Okay, the audience that you've been invited to speak in front of or talk to or share some content with are delighted about the new content and how unique it is and how amazing it is, so they're super happy. So if you're able to achieve this fresh strategy, these 5 different things in the fresh acronym, it'll position you way in advance of where you could possibly be if you were going to do it on your own. So let's jump into Facebook and I'll show you how to conduct this search for groups and the simple strategy you can start using right away to attract those new leads and followers. So number one, we go to Facebook and we do a search for, say, networking. And just a generic example, but what I want you to think about is your target market, your ideal clients, where they're hanging out, and conduct a search for that. So with that in mind, I want to go to networking, and in this case it's got groups, but if I wanted to look for groups specifically, I could click on groups up there, and it's got all these different groups, okay? And this is globally. I could go and have a look at, say, business networking in Australia, Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, etc. With 17,000 members, I mean, there's a massive amount of people in that group, obviously. But there's a lot more to it than that, and let me show you. So I'll just go small business networking, promoting sales and growth. Australian Business Network, probably a good example. 27,000 members, they're doing 10 posts per day. So don't click join, just go and view that group. Now it's not important at this point to click join group. By all means you probably can, and you're probably a member already of some different groups. So as we can see here, they got 27,590 members. Admins, they've got quite a few admins here. So what I want to do is find out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4 is 10. So they've got 10 admins in total. New post today, 3, 224 in the last 30 days. So they're pretty active and there's a lot of members. So that'd be a great group to get involved with. But if you go and roll over these admins, you can actually see these individuals who are administrators of this group, right? So obviously it would work better with the least amount of admins because, I've got multiple to choose from here. So in this case, I might just reach out to El Mercedes, for instance. Okay, so I might reach out to her and just say, hey El. So I'd actually go into Messenger and type a message there. And it could be something as simple as, hey, I noticed that you are an admin of the group called whatever the name of the group is, and I've got some fantastic networking ideas that would really help your group. Wondering if you'd be interested to connect so I can share them with your group. Now, the other thing you might want to do here is you could probably do it in the invitation or after you connect, one of the two. Just want to get a response or start a conversation. From there, I might say, look, I'd really love to interview you about the group, how it started and how you built it to that many members, and share that on my blog or my podcast, and hoping that you might be able to do the same. So law of reciprocity will kick in and she'll probably be sharing some really cool stuff back to her group. But of course, if you interviewed her, for argument's sake, who's she going to share that podcast interview with? Of course, people in the group. And in this case, we've got over 27,000 potential prospects who are going to come and visit the interview because we're going to provide her with a link to that interview after the interview's taken place. And of course, that's going to be located where? On your website. So the secret here, guys, is to make them, or the admin, look like a hero in front of their audience, in front of their group. And that really positions them with some additional authority, and they'll be really appreciative of it. So it really does two things. Number one, that interview, they're going to be really excited about the possibility of an interview, and the chances are super high that they're going to be sharing it with other members within their group and possibly even their email list, which again is driving traffic to you, your blog. And the law of reciprocation can often kick in where they'll go, well, actually, I'd love to do an interview as well about you and your services and share that with my group. Either way, we're going to be getting increased traffic that's free. We're going to be getting all of the things that we spoke about when we were talking about fresh strategies. So by using that strategy, it's very likely we're going to get fresh leads. We're going to get the respect and trust because the authoritativeness is coming from her or the admin of that group, where she's positioning you as an expert, where you automatically regain that gain that respect and trust because you're edified and they're now positioned as the expert. And obviously, as a result of that, they're going to share that with their audience, and it allows you to grow an even bigger audience through viral sharing as well. And of course, if you deliver incredibly good, amazing content, they're going to share it virally because they're really, really happy. So it fulfills all of the 5 elements of the fresh strategy. Now, you're not just restricted to Facebook when it comes to this strategy. You can do exactly the same thing on LinkedIn. So let's just go back and have a look at a couple of other groups before we jump into LinkedIn. Let's have a look at some more on Facebook. They don't have to be massive groups. I'll just go back to one of the original ones we had there, Networking with Confidence. Pretty small. It's only got 725 members. But the good news is there's less likely to be a lot of admins as well. Okay, so it's going to be a lot easier to reach out to a group like this because it's probably only got 1 admin or 2 admins. Okay, so I hope that you found that really useful. There's unlimited number of groups, 620 million in Facebook, but you can literally go nuts having a look at all of the different groups. Search for your target market for who you're actually looking for. Go and connect with some of the admins and stop just jumping into groups and doing unlimited posts, liking, sharing, and being like everybody else in the group. So stand out, be a bit different, and reach out to the admin or someone of authority to help position you as the go-to expert, and you can position them as an expert and feature them on your website or your blog. So let's jump on over to LinkedIn and we can do exactly the same thing there. So I might do a search for networking and then have a look at all of the groups within networking. And once again, globally, there's 88,835 results just for that group in networking. So I might just look at this one here, Networking Australia Only. So there's the group, and I might just scroll down to members and just click on members, and once you've done that you'll be able to easily see who the admins are, and in this case we've got 4 admins because it's such a big group. But you could do exactly the same thing. There's the group owner, Philip, so I'll just click on Philip's profile, and now when I invite Philip, it's a little bit more deeper than Facebook. I might be able to learn a little bit about Philip, say that you're really impressed with his profile on LinkedIn and that you share similar connections as well. So as you can see here, we've got 115 mutual connections and we've got 6 mutual groups that we're both members of. So I could have a look at some of those connections and reach out to him and say, hey, I noticed we've got over 115 connections in common, and I'm also a member of 5 separate groups, but I'd love to feature you on my podcast or video blog, whatever it is, and not just talk about the group that you built, but how you built it, and also some of the technology tips that you may have that you think would be beneficial to my audience. So once again, we can do exactly the same thing on LinkedIn and reach out to incredibly targeted groups where, of course, they're going to turn around and say, hey, I think that's fantastic, and thanks very much for doing the interview on me, like the Q&A sort of style. And of course, guess who they're going to share that podcast with, that video blog, that article, whatever it is. They're going to share it with other members of that group, without a doubt. So your potential exposure just right there is 23,691 members. Okay, and of course, law of reciprocity will also kick in again. And he'd say, hey, I'd really love to do an interview on you as well. And again, you can double up on that traffic. So I hope that you found these strategies super on how you can generate fresh new leads and get free traffic and leads for your blog, get more exposure, and build a much bigger audience. My name's Bill Doyle, signing off for now. Talk soon.